Aries.
Hello everyone, it's great to see you, and the channel here is new, so I'm going to have to ask you to resubscribe so I can get these videos to your inbox. And before we start the forecast, let me just update you that your monthly recorded audio scopes are up, and also your daily scopes. And thank you for all the great feedback on that. It is for a limited time free for you to go listen every single day. So just go to the website here and you can see what is up on a daily basis. Let's go to your forecast. Hello Aries, this is your November forecast for 2013. And this month your sun is cruising through the 8th house. And what is that? The 8th house is ruled by Scorpio, so it's going to be like a Scorpion sun in many ways. It's going to allow you this month to go very deep emotionally and also feel those deeper, more intense emotions, and how you relate to people around you with this perspective, so to speak. And it's a consciousness thing as well. And this house is not just those emotional values, but it's also those values that you hold jointly with somebody else. So it could be your partner's resources, it could be the bank, it could be insurance companies, it could be you looking more into royalties, commissions, and so forth. Those things, monies that you can derive from others, not necessarily your day-to-day income, which is ruled by the 2nd house, by the way. So that's going to be important for you. And we also have the new moon here, and the new moon is on the 3rd. We have a new moon eclipse this month. So eclipses are always a little bit more powerful. It will bring new things to the table. Also, as it eclipses away something old in this very area, and only you will know what that will be specifically for you as we approach and pass by November 3rd. But it is a time to put down our intentions as normal when we have a new moon. And what should you focus on? Well, look at those deeper values, those things that you hold very close, and I'd like to say too, privately at heart, because that's what Scorpio does. They're private people. So this is in many ways a private sector of your own emotional self. The 8th house, as the 4th and 12th house, are also looked upon as the psychic houses, because it's what we accumulate and hold subconsciously. So put some intentions as far as wanting to create a little space each month to tune in to what that subconsciousness, that psychic self of yours is trying to communicate with you emotionally, and also to have a little time each month coming ahead to look over your royalties, look over your commissions, do a checkup on where your insurance policies and so forth are, because that can behoove you in the long run. And we also have Mercury here, 8th house, and yes, she's still retrograde. Somebody says he, somebody says she, I call her and her. So yeah, Mercury will be retrograde until the 11th. So it's not just your sun digging deep down and emoting in this area, but your mind will also be going back over issues of the past where you were here the last time around, which would have been, give or take, here a year ago that Mercury was retrograde last. So there might be issues of that coming back up around. You might be contacted from somebody of your past that you had a very intimate bond with, since it is coming through this 8th house. So you'll have to see how that works for you. But sometimes, yes, there will be a phone call or an email or somebody knocking on your door from the past. Could be an ex. Now, what else this month here? Well, you will have Mars now cruising through Virgo. And it's been going through a long journey there through Leo. And some of you experienced all this rush of energy coming in because it's in a sister sign of yours. It's that fire. So you might have had a very busy latter part of September and then coming here through October. But now it's time to kind of harness some of that energy. Not necessarily harness it as far as holding it back, but kind of focusing it. You want to take it here, and where is that focus? It's the 6th house. Meaning that some of you will look to your daily routines, how to tweak it, how to streamline it so that you can perfect yourself in time management, excuse me, And this is because here, right at the very end of October, very last day, this very same Mars had a trine to Pluto. So we're starting off this month here with that trine to Pluto. And so you will see that there's a gush of energy coming in, propelling you in this direction. And the trine from Mars is coming in from your 10th house in career. That tells me that many of you might just start new work, new jobs here on the top of the month here in November. So you're kind of jumping into these new routines, getting the hang of them, how you can streamline it with your daily life, and also how to get along with coworkers, which the 6th house also is all about. So yeah, a lot of energy, a lot of intensity, as it is with all new things, because then our focus has to be like laser sharp, to get down all of those new things that a new job, comes along with. For others who are not starting in a new job, there might be a new project, there might be some other changes going on there, not just with you, but around you as well. And this can also have some effect on how you work. Say somebody is out of work for, say, pregnancy leave, you might end up with having to finish her work, or get extra responsibility. That's one way of looking at it, but it can work out in many ways. But you'll know what I mean. The workload is there, but the energy's behind it, and you're going to do absolutely great with it. Now, Venus this month here, Aries, it's in the 9th house. It's passing through this sign of Sagittarius, another sister sign of yours. So she's been doing really good there. She's in a happy-go-lucky sign. So a lot must have been very optimistic for you throughout October. And this even in spite that we had this very bumpy start, in the beginning of October, which we spoke about in last month's videos, and especially in the daily scopes as well, where Venus and Mars, they were kind of like heading up against each other here in a square, and weren't always, as friendly and always in agreement. So some of you encountered a lot of issues back then, and especially because as this square was going on, the Sun and Uranus also was in opposition. So that kind of created splits among those of you who needed or wanted to split from a difficult situation. But these Uranian oppositions, it will never split something that's really, really good. Okay, you guys, you always continue. You might have a challenge, but it's not that scary. But anything that has been difficult and under pressure for a long time, that's what that eliminates. So I know some of you were going through rough times, and I spoke with a lot of you as well. But yeah, it's like now in a happier place. It's like I said, trining your sister sign, and doing much better there at the latter part. We do still have it moving now into your career house. Probably, let me see, the 5th. It's going into Capricorn. So enjoy the first 5 days, where the energy is with you, where you're feeling that happy-go-lucky, charming energy, and then you will see how the workload is going to start picking up. But also I'm seeing how you can attain some glory here for the work that you have been doing, Aries. This is the time of the year that, you have Venus only once every year passing through here for a few weeks, giving you the attention, giving you what you so deserve as far as the hard work that you have been doing. So great time for it. Now we still have you processing the square of Uranus and Pluto, and for you it is between the point of liberation and what is it Uranus wants to liberate. See, it lets go of old ways, and you have Uranus to your 1st house, so it's this point of individuality, this point of creativity, this new part of you that you want to show the world. This is where it's coming from, and it's coming from Pluto in the 10th house. So it's more like maybe those of you feeling like you're so ready to take a step up and climb, and it's your time now, to get that promotion so that you can move into leadership, because this is where you're heading, Aries, and I want to let you know that. And this goes for more or less all of you. I can't say all of you, but more or less all of you. You're climbing to power, okay? And this is going to be something that's going to be with you still for a number of years, but you're in this incline where you're reaching for that highest sense of inner power and knowledge that you can give out in a workspace. Now, Uranus, on a shorter note, because she moves a little faster though, she's wanting to break away from old formats in the career field. And this is why there's so much change going on in your career. And for those of you, and many of you are, Aries, you're entrepreneurs, okay? So I see how your point of release can come from starting your own business. And you might have been thinking about that for a while, but this is also where you can drive a lot of power from, because Pluto wants to transform your career, okay? That's the pivotal point of power for you. Now, Uranus is telling you how to, but before you can come into this new dawn, we oftentimes experience like the crisis before those new beginnings. The crisis is only rounding up all the old ways, habits, and so forth, life circumstances. So it might feel like a little bit like this, but trust the process, because it hurts, you know, when our shell bursts. But in that burst, there is that new star stuff coming out for you. And it is this star stuff that you are made of when it comes to your own inner self, your inner creativity, and the power that you know you have to go out there and be the best entrepreneur you can be. Okay, so that's the upside of this square that is causing a lot of tension. But and the tension is only experienced as the unknown. It's like, what is this energy? Why are things happening the way they are? So all that unknown is what defines you as feeling a little angst, right? But if you knew where you were heading, would you have angst? No. You know, so it's hard to trust when we're blind, when we're seeing where we're heading. Wow, this is really going to open up a lot of doors. So just trust it. Trust the process. Okay, so let's look at a couple of things here for this month, because we're starting off very, very busy here already on November 1st. Like I said, October, the last day there, we had Mars and Pluto trine, so you got all this energy. And here on the 1st, Uranus and Pluto still square. That's some of that angst we just talked about. And it's at a point here where it wants to crack that shell out of the cocoon. Some of you will start seeing it. And Mercury here is sextile Mars, so any communications these days will be pretty pinpoint specific. Mars is very goal oriented. It knows what it wants. It wants to communicate it. You know, and when Mars is ready with anything, you know, try to hold back a team of horses. It's really hard. It wants to go, right? And your mind now is like working like a mile a minute. And then we have Pluto and the Sun is sextile here. So that is also helping you now into that transformational point. And so is Mercury too, also communicating this. Add Mars into there. So you will see that for you, all of this here is about transforming, new beginnings, new starts. And it's coming from a very deep-seated place, your 8th house for the most part. And then between your 1st and 10th house, this is where the self is renewing, rebirthing itself in and with career. So on the 3rd, like I said, we have a new moon, the eclipse, 8th house. We also have the Sun and Mars here on November 3rd, so you will see how that is going to be energizing you and pushing you forward, just like where your mind is too with Mercury. And then we have Venus leaving Sagittarius and into your career house on the 5th. Now, she has been doing a little research, so you might have been working here in October, maybe even knowing where you were heading and preparing yourself for this new journey. But that new journey starts on the 5th. Then we have Sun and Saturn, a good time to have some deeper talk or more important talk. The Sun is you, Saturn is all about authorities, you know, and it could be you giving a talk and then coming across as authority as well, so that could be it. And it could also be just you and maybe, you know, maybe a supervisor or boss or something having a good deep talk, or it could be you speaking to your spouse about something that you might feel is a little karmic as well, which Saturn can be. Now Jupiter is going to go retrograde. It's going to stop its direct motion. It's going to turn retrograde on the 8th. So between now and the 8th, well, you know, try to use Jupiter best you can For you, it's in the 4th house. So you've been expanding this area, family, home, residence, and so forth. If you're selling or buying, get it wrapped up before Jupiter goes retro on the 8th. Just because, you know, when Jupiter goes to sleep, some of the benefits and the abundance that she brings also goes to sleep. And it's going to be 4 or 5 months before she turns around. Okay, so that's why I say make the most of it before the 8th. Also, anything where you're working with family, wanting to expand family, and you want to get that done too. Venus and Neptune on the 7th, it's a romantic day, you know, enjoy yourself. Mercury is right there also doing the same sextile to Neptune. So it is a time to express, not sextile, it's trine, excuse me. So it is a time to express your emotions, to communicate it, to share it, to feel it, download it, embody it, and give it out. You know, it's beautiful. We have those quick phases and transits, and we always want to maximize while we can. Now, Mars and Saturn also sextile. It's going to follow up a little bit on what the Sun did on the 6th. Mars is going to come in just to reinforce it a little bit, okay? So that's good. It's a good day to get a lot of heavy-duty work done as well. And then we have the Sun. This is the happy day of the month. The lucky day of the month is when the Sun is going to trine Jupiter. So for you, that trine is between the 8th house and the 4th house, so that can have something to do with financing of your home. It could be maybe a mortgage loan went through, maybe a sales is finalizing, you know, even though Mercury is retrograde and now Jupiter has gone retrograde. Well, it doesn't really matter too much. Why? Because it was something that was started earlier. It's just that we really don't want to start new things under that retro. But Mercury will go direct on November 11th, the day before this lucky day. So it's right there in the shift. And then we have Neptune is going to join the crowd, turning from retro and going direct again. This is in your 12th house. And so you'll notice how your subconsciousness, how your imagination, how your spiritual self will start waking up from deep sleep from a few months. And you'll see how that creativity is going to start kicking in, and you can start utilizing it again. You know, and especially now when you've got all this going on with those of you who are entrepreneurs and want to start your own business, it's wonderful to have a creative energy and force like Neptune to count on. That is when she is strong. Now we have Venus and Uranus square, and this is going to take place on the 14th. Could be some misunderstandings in the romantic love life for you. It could also be between you and somebody at work, just because Venus is then touring your 10th house for career. So it could be a co-worker, it could be a client, it could be a boss, whatever the deal is. But this misunderstanding, it's a little clash, but it's, you know, it'll come in fast and it will move out fast. It's not going to stay, not going to linger, but you might feel, you know, a little bit of it there for a day or two. And Venus also is going to be conjuncting Pluto on the 14th, so you may be feeling this too. That is always intensity. You might get an offer. You might feel that something, you might get a raise too, for that matter. Whatever the deal is, you're going to feel excellent this day, as if something is empowering you. But you know, as Venus is conjuncting Pluto up there, Venus is also squaring Uranus because they're tied in that square. So something, it may start a new offer, something that feels very empowering. And then some of you might feel that, okay, this is the end of it because Venus is squaring Uranus. That means also breaking away, splitting off, finalizing. But you may be finalizing because of that new that Pluto is going to give you. So you'll have to see how this works out for you though. But Venus is in a good place. I think it's going to work out fine because at the same time, all of this is going on the 14th. Within these next few days, that Venus is starting to grow a beautiful, excellent golden trine to Jupiter, which is in your 4th house. So that should also be indicating something here now that could be, what should I say? Harvesting, where you can harvest something now that is coming to you in a sense of abundance, you know, unexpected, even though it's not, because it is something that you have been working for. So yeah, let me see here, what else do we have? We have the 21st, the sun's moving into Sagittarius. We got Venus sextiling Saturn, so that should be putting something into place for you where you can feel things are going to secure itself. Anything contractual should also pretty much prove to be good for you here at this time. Mercury and Venus on the 27th, they're going to have good talks. It could be really nice for romance, you know, that the heart is speaking and the mind is feeling what the heart is holding. And Venus also here in an opposition, though, to Jupiter. However, though, those oppositions aren't necessarily always difficult because they're so jovial and nice energy planets in themselves, so they just kind of enhance one another, bringing something to the forefront. And what will it bring? Well, whatever took place there when Venus conjuncted Pluto is now, Jupiter is coming behind it to kind of like steadfast something, to concretize and lock in perhaps, or maybe you'll just start seeing the outcome of whatever that was will now come into being. So, Aries, this is pretty much what we have for you here in November. I'm glad you are back up and listening to the channel, so please do subscribe so we're sure that we have you here at Zeitgeist, okay? And I will see you next month. Do tune into your rising sign, your moon sign, as usual, just to get a little bit more of what's going on here with you, okay? Bye now. Okay, so let me walk you through how you're going to find your daily scopes and how to listen to them, download them. It's actually very simple. You go up here to the address bar and you type in zeitgeist.com. That is the home page. When it comes up, you go to your daily scopes right there, and you'll see you have your daily scopes right here. Now, the ones that are activated, you will see that they are a little darker here in pink, and I add in as we go along. And these are free. It's a promotion until November 15th. So what you want to do, say you want to go to the 12th, well, you click on the 12th here on this page, and up comes here, and you will see on the right hand side the daily scopes right here, and you just go to your free download now. And you can check out other dates too if you want to go back in time, and if something special happened, well, go check that out, you know, and see what happened that day. But say you want to download here October 11th, you go to free download. It will take you right here. You put in your email address. I'll put mine here. You go submit. And here is your daily scope right here. It'll say download, and it will download directly to you. You open up with your default player. I have Windows Media Player. Click OK. Up comes your file, and you will be able to listen to it immediately. It's just waiting here as it's uploading that file. And why is it taking a little bit? Let me just do that again. Open. There we go. There's the file, and it will start playing here immediately. And you can just listen through it, and it goes. They're probably mainly between 5 to 8 minutes. This one here is 5 minutes, but yeah. So you can listen to it. You can go back. You can listen to another date. You can come back every day. It is a free thing for right now, and if you would like to share this with your friends, go ahead and send them this link that I have here on Daily Scopes. I made a mini URL here, and you can just copy and paste this, oops, right there, and send that to your friends, and I will see you next month.